anybody, was everybody who played last game available today?
Yeah, everybody who played last game is available, and Adam Ernie's also available.
Okay, and I'm curious, only 4 games left, kind of odd scheduling, 4 days in between Sunday and then the next game. How will you handle those days? I assume maybe a little bit differently because they're coming this late in the season.
Yeah, it's way different than if it was during the year. You're obviously, it would be way different if we were a playoff team, and neither one of those things are the case. So, I think one of the reasons that we have, such a stretch there is in case, there was delays through the season. They could have rescheduled games, I'm assuming. So, it's different. We won't practice every day full on those days. I think Monday's a day off for sure. We'll work through some other things on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We definitely won't practice every day, and then we'll make sure we're ready to play on Friday, Saturday.
Excuse me, how tough has it been, the schedule being so compact like you talked about, basically there haven't been a lot of practices to institute things when you've had a schedule like this.
Yeah, no, you just are on a balance all the time of keeping your structure and your habits, which is what you do in practice, and energy. And there's loads that we pay attention to, the physical load that the player goes through, both week by week and month by month. And I think if you ask around the league, very few teams have practiced here as we've all moved along, and that, like I said, it can hurt your structure, but you also have to have energy to play. I mean, it still comes down to winning races, winning one-on-one battles. So it's a balance. I think it's a balance always in the league. I don't think it's ever an easy balance, and certainly this year has been exacerbated because of the tightness of the schedule.
And lastly, anything new on Dylan as far as whether he will have surgery or?
I just want to be clear. I never said anything about, I said he was going to be further evaluated. I don't even think I mentioned the word surgery. He will go through further evaluations this week. So I don't have anything new on that. I hope that, I'll have more after he goes through those evaluations. Yep.
Next up, Trevor Thompson, Valley Sports Detroit.
Blashill, another nifty goal by Verona the other night. I'm just wondering if you can quantify the impact that he's had on the team or can have going forward with his skill set.
He can score, and that was a nifty goal, and he scored real goal scorers goals. He's had lots of opportunities most games, and I think, he just, as I've talked about lots with you guys, it's just learning how to be a complete player and still produce that offense. And I'm certain that's, one of the things that ultimately they were pushing for in Wash, and it's something we're going to keep pushing for here is just make sure that that he's real accountable at throughout the ice sheet, and if he can do that and score, you got a winning hockey player. So he's got a real good skill set. He can skate and he can score. Those are two prime things in this league, and now it's our job to try to help him become the very best winning type hockey player he can become.
Are those things typical of someone at that age as far as the learning curve goes in the league?
Everybody's different. Different guys come in different. He's not young. He's middle aged in our league now. Like I think you get to 30 and guys feel old. So it's just a growth process, and he cares. He wants to get better. That's what he's shown me so far. And as long as he can keep working at it and showing signs of improvement, then I think he's headed in the right direction. So we'll stay with him with it, and we'll help him become the best player he can become.
Thanks, Bud.
Yep.
Next up, Pregame, Pregame.com.
Hi, Jeff. I'm kind of curious. I know Joe's only played 2 games. Tampa has a lot to play for in these 2 games, still trying to catch Carolina for the top spot in the Central. Have you seen a progression in his 200-foot game, your impressions of him, and what would you like to see him do against a very good Lightning team?
Well, I've definitely seen a progression, from the beginning of last season till now, and really speaking with, our development guys led by Sean Horkoff, I know that was something that they were working with him hard on in junior, for him to understand the importance of it, especially at the center ice position, and especially it's really, really difficult to come into the league and put points up to the level of some of those premier guys. And so, I think the organization from the onset believed he needed to become that 200-foot player who can play at both ends of the ice, who can play great defensively and still produce good numbers. And certainly that's Steve Yzerman knows better than anybody the importance of that, and ultimately building championship teams. And so, it's something that I think he's gotten better at. He's certainly gotten the message. I think he's got very good defensive instincts. What happens in hockey is you have structure, you have your systems, but there's tons of chaos, and you have to be able to sort through the chaos, and guys with good defensive instincts and good brains can sort through it. And he's showing different opportunities where I thought he did a really good job sorting through it. And then he's also, in each game has created scoring chances, real scoring chances. I think he's been eyeball to eyeball with the goalie in both games, and so that's what you got to do is on a consistent basis is create those scoring chances and defend hard, especially if you want to be a centerman in this league. And now the amount that those turn into goals and assists will dictate where a guy's at kind of in the lineup and how much you're going to win with that as a go-to player. And but I think he's got the good foundation of being of somebody who's really become a good 200-foot player.
One question: Joe made the decision when the pandemic first started not to play hockey right away, but to go into the gym and build up his body. I think it's pretty apparent when you see him. How important do you think it was for him maybe to take a step back from playing and building up his strength and making that body bigger, which now looks like a legitimate NHL body?
Well, I talked to those young guys last year, when we all paused, and the one thing I said to those young guys is this could be a real blessing for you. The one thing that almost every young player is missing is they're not yet at an NHL body. And it's not their fault. They're 18 years old and they haven't developed quite that body. It takes time, takes tons of strength training. And he made the comment back to me when I first saw him come back here a week ago. I said, "Man, Joe, you look way bigger." And he said, "Well, I used that time. I used that stretch of time from March to whenever he started playing to really transform his body." And there is zero doubt that his body transformed, and I think that's allowing him to have success because he's winning lots of battles, and you can't win battles if you don't transform your body most of the time.